Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are broadcasting live from inside my work van. I'm going to show you in this video, we're going to take an inside look on these Milwaukee Packout drawers, how I'm using them, how I'm using the Packout accessories to build custom dollies, my power tower, all kinds of good stuff. We'll go through the details in this video. You might have seen a recent video where I showed you how I can deploy all the tools in this van in a matter of minutes. If you haven't seen that one, check that out. I'll link it in the cards above. But let's dig into this. As you design your Packout system, we have a new ability that we've never had before, and that is to have drawers go all the way to the bottom of our stack of tools. So we've got a lot of design options in the way we lay out our tool setups. As you can see here, the way I've got these done is drawers on the lower portion of the stacks, and then you've got the option of you could do drawers the whole way, or you could put an open tote on top like I've got here, and you can put a box on top like I've got over here. So I'll show you the way I've got these stacks set up. On this stack over here, I've got all of my cordless tools in this large tote on top. The reason I did it this way was because I found I could not match the efficiency of how many tools I could get in a tote like this using the drawers. And for example, like a circular saw like I have here, that would not fit in any of these drawers. So this is basically how I had this setup done pre-Packout drawer units, and I opted just to keep it the same. So whether I'm working on the job site or coming into the van to grab a tool, I can still access all the tools because I can open the lid on the top here. What we don't want to do is put a unit with a lid on the bottom or middle of the stack where we have to unstack stuff to get into this. So the bad thing with a setup like this is if I want to access my track saws, which are in this large box, I can do that by taking this tote off inside the van and opening the lid here, and I don't have to move this whole unit in or out. I've got access to my track saws right here. Or I could leave the tote on, roll it out, and then I could lift the whole thing up, you know, part way, even with the tote still connected to this lid. Now, inquiring minds may be wondering if you can fit track saws in a large Milwaukee tote. You can, but it is tricky. So you're going to have to detach your bags. And then I've got a HKC over here and a TSC 55 right here. The HKC is a little bit smaller and it's easier to get in the box. The trick with the TSC is you have to drop your blade. Okay, that's just annoying. The trick with the TSC 55 is you actually have to drop your blade down and use the fast fix lever here to lock it down. I actually don't have a blade in this one right now because it's being sharpened, but that was the only way that I could figure out to get this saw to nest into one of these large boxes. But as you can see here, it'll close just fine with two track saws like this. Let's just roll through this stack and I'll show you what I got here. In this stack, we have a 6 1/4 inch circular saw, oscillating multi-tool, barrel grip jigsaw with coping foot, and standard jigsaw right there. So pretty good amount of storage in there, and I can also throw some batteries in there and plenty of room to spare in that one. Dropping down here, I got a laser, Festool cordless sander, and DeWalt blower. That DeWalt blower just barely fits. It's kind of annoying, but it'll go. In here, this is a really efficient use of space. I've got 4 nailers in here. And again, I use Kaizen inserts and cut the foam out a little bit so you can see right where these units go to get them back. So I think that 22 gauge stapler, 23 gauge pin nailer, We got 15 gauge nailer right here and 18 gauge nailer right here. You can see that opens and closes easily. That's a really efficient use of space. Moving down here, cordless nailers. I have my 18 gauge Milwaukee battery adapter with DeWalt battery on it. And under that, the new Milwaukee 23 gauge pin nailer with an extra battery over here. Again, nice efficient use of space, getting two different cordless nailers in here. Down here, not as efficient, DeWalt 15 gauge nailer, and then I just threw a couple hole saws in here because I needed somewhere for those to go. Those are the common ones I use for plumbing vents, and then 4-inch can lights, or 4-inch light box, you know what I mean. When I'm putting wood beams up, really nice. Down here, got my ETS 150 sander, sandpaper stored underneath of it, and then 4 clam clamps nested in here. The way this works, they stack on top of each other. So you can see how I cut that foam out to make that happen. This is really important because if you don't store these clam clamps well, they'll bang into each other and the teeth will get all banged up and actually go dull, and they won't bite into the wood very well. Stair tread gauges over here on the side, and then I've got 2 block planes right on top of each other. Little Lee Nielsen and Big Brother right there. So nice stack there. Down here, Makita biscuit joiner battery adapter. Use it with a DeWalt battery. DeWalt cordless router wrench underneath. And with this foam, you can drill some holes and store extra drill bits, extra router bits that you commonly use along the outside here. So you've got everything together. And then this is the jig that I use for pocket door hardware. I'm always using that, so I like to have that close by also. You can see underneath here, this is my custom dolly that I made. I think these are 3-inch wheels if I remember right. So on the front, I have locking casters. That way I can just push those down whenever I push these into place, and it's less chance of it moving around. And obviously I've got the straps on here holding everything in, which I covered in the other video. Moving over here, I already covered this box. Got my HKC and my TSC 55 track saws in that box. This isn't as efficient of a stack as the one on my right. Milwaukee has not yet released bins specifically designed for these drawer units. But if you have the old style Milwaukee Packout boxes, you can take the bins out of those and they fit pretty good in here. And I have one of the Kaizen insert cutout foam pieces underneath here, and that puts these boxes at about the right height. So this is all GRK screws in there. Some more common number 10 biscuits. 3-inch deck screws, which I use for hanging doors, and then 1 5/8 drywall screws, which I use for shimming a lot. Sandpaper, wood filler, a little bit of dry lubricant there, just some random stuff in that box. And down here, I find that these 3 drawer units are not nearly as efficient for the most part. For a setup like this, I've got my hyper gun, extra glue, CA glue. That works pretty good, but I don't even have any. Actually, I do. Okay, I've got caulking under here, but this doesn't seem really efficient to me. It's just where I've got some stuff right now. Haven't really found how I want to use these boxes yet. So anyways, over to the side here, you'll see my latching drawer unit, my self-locking drawer units. I just keep consumables and hand tools that I don't use very often in this area. And again, I had to come up with something to do here because I've got a wheel well behind there under all that. So you can't roll stuff in to this area like you can over here where there is no wheel well. I had this spot, which is pretty much the ideal size for a Packout drawer unit, and I haven't really put anything in this one yet. It's going to be drywall anchors, miscellaneous screws and stuff like that, but I haven't got around to arranging that yet. Here I've got this 3-drawer unit. It just happened that I had this space open and it would work pretty well for a Packout unit. So that's what I've got here. I don't have anything in it yet. This one will stay on the van, but it'll be used for drywall anchors, miscellaneous screws, Craig screws, all kinds of stuff like that is what I have in mind there. Hopefully Milwaukee comes out with some screw bins that fit these well. Now, coming over here, I have what I'm calling the power tower, and you don't see any Milwaukee Packout units necessarily, but this is all designed around the Milwaukee Packout system. As you can see, I have the same custom dolly that I made. You can't buy this, I made that on here as I have on these units over here. So that'll work with these all work with my hand truck. They all roll around really nice. So I made this box for this air compressor, and this is all modular. So I have the Milwaukee Packout, I don't even know what you call them, but these pieces that you can add so everything clicks together. So I can actually remove this air compressor unit from this stack and drop this whole thing down, this microwave unit and charging deal. It's also fastened to one of these Milwaukee deals here. So all that can connect and come apart. Last thing I want to show you, I want to give you a closer look at this dolly that I made because I think it's pretty awesome, and some of you might want to make one yourself. There isn't a product on the market like it as of now. So let's just go ahead and unstack all this stuff. This is my custom dolly. So the first thing you have is the Milwaukee, I gotta look up what this thing's called. Okay, they call it the base mount. So you're looking for the base mount plate that Milwaukee has, and I believe you can mount this on a wall and you can hang like totes from it, and you can use it at the bottom of a base like this or whatever. So what I did is I took one of those plates, I cut out 2 pieces of 3/4 inch plywood, which one piece is on the top, one piece is on the bottom, and then I sandwiched 1/2 inch plywood underneath there. What that does is that allows your hand truck plate to slide in here. And then I have a 1/2 inch strip going down the center, but your hand truck can slide in here or on the other side. So you can get at it from both sides. The other thing nice about it is since it's a cavity, when you slide your hand truck in there, if your whole stack leans forward, it's not going to completely fall off the hand truck because it's locked in there. So did that, added 3-inch casters. The wheels on the back are not locking, and then the ones on the front have the locking mechanism so that whenever I'm pushing this into place in the van, I can just click that down and that wheel's not going to move, and whenever I want to pull it out, I can unclick it. Same thing on the job site. If you're on uneven ground, the dumb things will just keep rolling around on you. You just got to click that down and it won't go anywhere. So I'm pretty thrilled with myself about this whole design. It's working out really good for me. Took a little bit of time to make in the shop one night, but I think it's going to pay dividends for me over the long haul with the ease of getting stuff in and out of the van. The other thing with this dolly that's nice is if you're actually inside your van and you're trying to just roll these into place, you can do that. I have a rubber mat on the base of my van. Sometimes it doesn't agree with the rubber mat because the ribs from the van floor kind of telegraph through. If you have plywood on your floor, it'll work even better. But then of course on the job site, you're wheeling these around. You don't have to have the hand truck to move stacks around. They'll just roll around on your custom dolly. So highly recommend making this if you've got time to do so. Real quick over here on this unit that I'm calling my power tower, this was strategically built to have all of my things that needed plugged in on one unit. So I've got a large air compressor here. I recently switched to this larger air compressor from a smaller air compressor plus surge tank. With the smaller air compressor, I had to carry a surge tank. That was kind of annoying, and I wanted to keep everything modular. So I went with the larger air compressor, more air capacity, and I've got that on the bottom here. And then this up here, some of you would remember, I'll link a card here also, if I remember to, that I built this whole charging station with microwave, and it was on its own set of wheels that I could move around. That would have taken up a space in the van. I opted to take the wheels off of this. I put one of the Milwaukee plates, I think they call it the custom worktop plate. So this whole thing now actually is its own unit, and you could take that corner off also. And again, if I didn't want this air compressor under here, I could remove this whole air compressor and just drop this whole thing down. I could put a Packout drawer unit under this. So the idea is keep it modular so that you can customize as needed or as your tools change or needs change. That's kind of the whole philosophy behind this. Another strategic thing that I did was I kept this unit towards the back of the van. That way, if I'm doing a punchless job or a quick in and out one day, I can run a cord up to the back of the van and simply plug this whole stack in to a cord, and I've got power to my air compressor, which I don't hardly use anymore for work like that because I've got everything cordless now. But air compressor, power to microwave, which is essential for lunch, and power to all of my battery chargers here so I can keep things charging. Same thing on the job site in a situation where I've got my tools deployed. I can roll this into a laundry room or bathroom that has an outlet, plug it in, and everything's just boom, everything's charging. You can't really see on the inside here, but I've got my headlamps hooked up to their chargers. I've got a couple Festool chargers in here, micro USB chargers for my Bluetooth headset, as well as the new Milwaukee headlamp, which I'm trying out right now. So just a lot of versatility there. But again, be strategic in how you set this stuff up, and you'll get a lot more efficiency. To lock this unit in place, I just drilled a couple holes on my wood partitions, and I'm just using a nice heavy duty bungee strap across here. That way, if I am leaving this unit in the van, I can just plug it in and I can still get access to my microwave. So that's it. I got to get some work done. I hope you guys have found this video helpful. It's been awesome for me. I can't say it enough. It's just been an awesome setup. I'm loving using it. So if you got any questions, let me know in the comments below. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Give the video a thumbs up. And as always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we'll see you on the next video.